Good morning. Day 44. Jesus Christ, 44 days. We're a glutton for punishment. That heat wave earlier in the build season really put us behind. God. I should be done with the water room and have the water in already. Oop, I forgot to turn lights on out here. Gotta turn the light on. Gotta turn the light on. It's a little dark. Hard to see here. We'll just go like that. There we go. Now you can see my ugly puss. Another day in the water room. The last day in the water room. Hopefully here within about 3 hours, we will be totally done installing everything and I can start getting water in the ponds along with its dye. And I can get all my junk out of here. God, I got stuff strewn all over the place. Excuse me. Furball. Only got a couple of things to do. One, I gotta get Morgan's fountain into place with its hose in it and then getting the pump situated. Then I've got that guy and the guy sitting over there on the other side of the fence. I've got to get put in with their weights. The guy that's going to be going there is getting a water blaster, and this one is going to get a bubbler. I guess you can call it a new prop because the other water blaster fell apart. I forgot to fix it over the off season. So I've got those to do. That'll take under an hour to do. Then I've got a control board I need to put in behind the barrel here, and that will control both the bubbler, the water blaster, and the zombie bait over there in the corner. Now I got a little bit of slight maintenance on zombie bait to do. I've got a trigger wire going from zombie bait over to here and runs down that wall so I can hook it into the barrel. Tried using it the other day to test zombie bait and it wasn't working. So it's probably in its connection wire somewhere. And that's, well, hold it. And that's the connection wire there. I gotta find the end of it. Or is it just... that's why it's not working. It's unplugged. So real quick and easy, I just got to get in there and plug it in. Which means I've got to open up a fence panel to get in there. So that'll be a quickie. But past that, getting those little items done, then I can get the fencing back up on the video pumping station and we can start putting water in. The video pumping station is going to be a pain in the ass. It's going to take some time. This is a fairly big pond. I'm expecting about an hour, maybe hour and a half just to fill this one pond. That pond, probably about 20-30 minutes. And about 30 to 40 minutes over there on that one. And now I've got clown to do too, and that's the smallest pond out here. But anyway, I'm going to put the camera down. We're going to get to work as soon as we get something to eat, because Ram is actually hungry. Waffles. Big plate of Belgian waffles. That's what I'm hungry for. So there's your breakfast of the day. Time for work. Well, stage 4 is officially done. All the sets are set up, working, ready to go. Now it's stage 5. And as you can hear the dribbling from behind me, we're on the start of stage 5, and that's getting the ponds filled. We're doing the box clown first. trying to get its pond full. Then we will head over to water room, which is where I'm going to go now. Heard a weird sound over there. I have to stop and check with just the water. Okay, get that off my foot. Black hosing hooked on my foot. Didn't want to come off. Okay, over here in the water room, we got the pumping station finished. Got its fences up. Everything works. Got all the guys in. Right now I have the sensor aimed at the ground, because I don't want to be moving around in here and listening to bucket mouth going on. The hissing you heard was these guys going off. But I still got this area here I need to close off yet. But until such time as I'm done filling the ponds and Sue Ann's done with whatever else she wants to do in here, the panel's going to stay down. I can come in later, put them in. I only put 2 staff skulls in. Forgot about those. Almost forgot to put them in. But we got that done. Now, while the ponds are filling, I'm going to be running around doing different things out here. I've got curtains to do, security systems to put in, the video surveillance system, stereos, a couple of speakers, and some miscellaneous stuff. Projector screens, projectors, that type of thing. That's all stage 5 is. Takes 2 to 3 days usually, depending on how fast I'm moving. And I'm not moving very fast this year, as you can tell, since we're almost up to 45 days doing this, and I'm normally done in about 43 on the vlogs. So we're going to be working on that sort of thing. One thing I did want to address as well, cold weather prevention. It's getting down to around 32 at night. Not enough to hurt the ponds overly much. But if it gets lower than that, they will freeze over. We had that happen one year. Guys, the Hunt Crowd on Facebook gave me a hand. Now, if you're down in Arizona, California, Southern Oregon, you're not going to have to worry about getting too cold. It'll get down into the upper 30s, probably your area. But for me, it gets cold. So I buy this stuff, RV Antifreeze and Marine. Each pond gets a gallon of it. And once the pump gets turned on, which won't be until all the ponds are full, and I'll turn all the pumps on, the pump will mix the water and the antifreeze all together, so it won't freeze, and keep it mixed. But anyway, I do not know if we'll get to do plugging the pumps in today or waiting till tomorrow. It depends on how long it takes to fill them. The pumping station is going to take the longest. So anyway, that's all I got for you now. We're filling ponds. We're stage 5, people. Hey guys, ponds are still filling, and I got dye and antifreeze into all of them. I just need to get the water in all of them. So far I've got the Clown and the Dragon ponds done. I'm working on Water Wall at the moment. But while I was doing that, I figured I'd finish out. If you remember right, when we started stage 4, I mentioned I was going to keep track of my lights. on how many I ended up putting up. And I showed you this little graph I did. Each row is a different haunt, and then going across is one light. So like the top row here is spots, and then we got pucks, small floods, big floods. And I just went through and counted up how many of each I put up and then put numbers in the lines. Well, I just got done adding it up. On the spotlights, we did 133. There are 17 pucks, which is a little 3 LED fixture that are in things like the skulls and other things. The small floods, those are my 6 LED floods. There's 51 of them. And on the large floods, those are my haunted treasure floods. They have 12 LEDs in it. There's 49 of those this year in the haunt, lighting the haunt up. Normally I use a lot more than that. I had some small floods and some of the haunted treasure stuff I used last year. I didn't even touch this year. The haunt has a way darker feeling to it, more eerie feeling to it this year. Normally we keep things pretty bright in all the displays, so everything can be seen really easy. Some things are going to have to be kind of stared at. I think our brightest display, our 2 brightest displays, are Witch and probably the water room at night. Not that bright in there during the day, even with lights on in the water room. But anyway, I thought I'd give you that tidbit. And with that, stage 4 is officially done. We're working on ponds now. I'm waiting on the water wall pond to fill. And I think once that's done, the only pond I'll have left to do is the pumping station. And I think while that one's filling up, I'm going to go get lunch, because it's going to take a good 45 minutes to an hour, if not longer, to fill that pumping station pond. That is a big-ass pond. So, anyway, there we go. Okie dokie. Before we lose too much more light, it's 6:30. It is getting dark out here. It's been an interesting day. But I wanted to show you what we got done, or show you at least what I've been kind of working on. While the ponds were filling earlier, I got out here and I started doing some safety things. First, the major one had to do with all my wiring throughout the whole haunt. Anywhere I had a wire run, I went through and zip tied everything, cleaned it up. I started out at the entrance and worked my way all the way through the haunt to the exit, while the video pumping station was filling. It was full before I finished with the wiring, so we turned the water off. And I finished doing the wiring and then put the hose away. It took a while. And I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not, but you should hear water. We got the fountains going. After I got the hose cleaned up, this fountain here on the water wall, you can see some of the jet. Bucket mouth. But this fountain is famous for shooting water out of the pond. So I went and got some plexiglass and put in, and I'm glad I did, because it's getting wet. But there is water coming out of those, coming out of that, and coming out of those two over there. So all 3 pumps, all 5 fountains are working. But we also got that fountain. We got the Leering Skeleton over here running. You see the drizzle coming out his mouth. And we do have the dragons working too, and they are really hard to see. I should probably up the pressure on it so it shoots out further. But every year this pond size changes, and I'd rather take shallow. But you can see down there, it's hitting the water. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pumps in here running. And the clown is working too. I have not tested the box clown yet. But we had a hell of a time with the pumps, which caused me to have to put out another fire. When we first plugged them in, we were noticing the pumps were surging. They'd go at full pressure, then back off for a little bit, and then go back to full pressure, and we're sitting there doing that off and on. Wasn't sure what the hell was going on. So I ended up having to go wading in the pond. And I started with the power pole out back, checked the TGIs, nothing wrong with them. Checked the power station, nothing wrong with that. Came out here and checked the connection, which was up by that black light up there, and noticed that the plug was partially out of the socket. So I think, oh, maybe that's the trick. Plugged it back in, turned power back on, and everything was dead. So I repeated the process. Checked the power pole, checked I have a little test that you plug in, the lights light up as it's working. Checked the circuit that the power station was hooked up on for that circuit. For the blown circuit. It was working fine. Power station was working fine. And I got to thinking I had a I bought 2 of that style of cord several years back, and it's been about 5-6 years. One of them crapped out, stopped working altogether. And I got to think, well, maybe the cord is having the same problem. You know, it's starting to go out on me, shorten out. So I replaced it. Ran it. I ended up having to get into both this pond and that pond to run the cord, pull the old cord out that way and run a new cord in. Plugged it in to the power bar that I had out there, multi-plug power bar. Dead as a doornail. Nothing came on. So I said, the heck with it. I like using those power bars because they have a surge protector on them. Well, I said, to hell with it. I have one of my multi-plugs here. You can plug 3 items in. I only had 3 items to plug in, so I put that on the end of the extension cord, ran it all the way out there, plugged in. One does this room, the other one does the clown, and the third one does our head count camera. Everything's running, not a problem. The multi-plug, dead as a doornail. So it was a multi-plug going out. God, talk about a pain in the ass. And right now, going wading, since I just filled these today, isn't all that bad. It's cold water like you get out of your tap, so 45, 50 degrees. After these ponds sit overnight, and it's going to be down around 32. It's going to be like stepping into ice water, to have to go wading. So I'm glad I had to do it today. But that's pretty much as far as we've gotten. Oh, and I was going to show you that. My little bubbler. Gotta wait for Zombie Bait to restart. Sorry, trying to trip Zombie Bait. than that one goes. That's what my little bubbler's doing. Now this guy, on the other hand, I screwed up on. The water blaster is right there behind that leg. It's supposed to be on the front part of the leg. Right now the water blaster's going off, hitting this guy on the chin and then coming out this way a little bit. Ain't nobody going to be getting wet off of him. Which is fine, because usually if he goes off like he should, we end up with a muddy marsh right through here from the mud or grass getting wet. Which will be fine. The clown will take care of that problem for me. But anyway, that's what we've been working on today. Now, like I said, it's about 6:30. I'm not ready to call it quits. I do know if I sit down, it's like, oh God, I don't want to get up. But once I get up and get moving around, I don't want to sit down and stop. So, I think I'm going to start putting the curtains up. I probably won't get them done tonight. We'll get them done tomorrow. But that's what these bars are for. They hang in between, like this one here is in between Gypsy and Spider. I also used it for a wire chase. I ran all my wiring from the power station over here into the water room, the Spider, what have you. I'll come through with the black plastic and I'll put the one edge of the plastic here, staple it across, cut it off, and then cut slats into it and wrap it around the bar a couple of times. And then people have to push through it. And it makes a great curtain, good doorway. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out at the entrance and just work my way through the haunt till all the curtains are in. And like I said, it does take a little while. So, you know, I doubt I'll get them all done today. And there are some doorways, like going from the witch into the water room and from the water room into Pirate, that don't have curtain bars up yet. You know, so I'll have to put those up as I get to them. So, fun. But anyway, it's curtain time, baby. Hey, end of the day wrap up. And Kaylee and I just got done parking the truck. She's having fun exploring. I've been putting curtains up. I got 7 curtains up. I still have 5 more to do. We'll get to those curtains tomorrow. It's going on about 8:50, almost 9. I would have been done by 1:45 or a little earlier than that, except we went to park the truck and we got through the front gate, got Kaylee out to the truck, got her in, shut the door, car pulls in. When are you open? You know, and I gave him, you know, the spill, the hours and stuff. And while I'm talking to him, another car pulls in, pulls over next to the curb across the street, I was thinking they were going to go into the smoke shop. Nope. First car pulls away, and they pull up. When are you open? And asking questions. And just as she's pulling out, a third car pulls in. Are you open yet? Or did we miss it? And nope, we open on the 24th. We have a VIP night on the 23rd. We're open limited hours. It's 6:30 to 9:30. And it's open for, you know, we invite a bunch of people. But since we're open, we get so many people coming in wanting to go through, we opened it up to the public, but it's limited hours. You know, and it gives us a way of stress testing it. Then during the day on the 24th, I'm running around fixing things that aren't working and what have you. Because as of yet, we have not had the whole haunt on at the same time. You know, and I've got to go around and check volumes and everything else, you know, to make sure, you know, like one projector isn't interfering with the Q-line speakers, which isn't interfering with this or that. You know, and things need to be adjusted. So we do that on the 23rd, and we invite the VIPs down to help us stress test, you know, to find things, you know. And normally the ones I invite down, they come out, you know, do you see anything in there that needs changing? Is one thing I ask them. No, it all looks great, usually. Or, you know, well, the gargoyle over there was a little loud. You know, I'll get something like that. usually from them. On the curtains, I was thinking about it tonight. I've never really realized it, but those curtains, like that one there, plays on a phobia. We try to add, a lot of the areas in the haunt are designed for phobias. A fear of snakes and spiders. Arachnophobia, I can't remember, that's spiders, and I can't remember what the snake is. The tube hallway, that's our claustrophobia section. The curtains, which people have to deal with in between each display that they go through, also plays on a phobia. The fear of the unknown. And sure enough, I can watch videos, or I'll even be in the haunt, doing some scares. And I kind of watch the curtains. I can see people. I kind of approach them, I can see their shadows and stuff from one set to the other. And it's funny as hell. They'll stick their head through and kind of look. And if they don't see anything, they'll come on in. They get to the next curtain, they do the same thing. They just don't walk through the curtains like a normal person would. They'll peek through and then peek around corners. You let them get in, and then let them feel comfortable, then you nail them. Get a good scream. But anyway, tomorrow we are going to be all, from here until the last setup vlog, we are going to be all over the place. So you're just going to be getting little snippets of this. Hey, I got this done. Hey, I got that done. And we're going to go from there. Tomorrow, first thing, curtains. I got to finish getting the curtains hung. I need to get the queue line, pillars, and the tent for the queue line, and the 2 chairs me and Swan use. Out here, those are stored in the exit hallway. So I need to get those out here. The secret door, which is right there, I need to get it mounted and hung. It mounts with 3 hinges so we can open and close it. It's our secret door to get into the house. I've got to get that installed. I've got to get the projection screens, both on that one and that one. I've got 2 speakers to put out for the queue line. I got to get those in and get the speaker wire ran over here. We're going to be doing just little things like that. I've still got to get the stereos out here, which plays the ambient sounds for the Pirate. The queue line stereo, which runs, for the queue line. I've got projectors, I've got projector boxes, projector stands, I've got the security system and security cameras to aim, so, there's just a lot going on. It's just that it's not in one spot. The last 2-3 days, we've been in the water room, so all the filming's taking place just in that water room, and you're able to see everything that was going on. Here, on stage 5, it's impossible to do that unless I want to do tripod work. Put the camera up on a tripod and take it out and just let it run. No, thank you. Day 1 with the tent setup is enough for the fast forward footage. Now with that, stay spooky, stay toxic.